Game4Glory.net. It is a brand new gaming portal, Xbox, PS3, and PC, where you can register, create an account, challenge other people in your same skill bracket, challenge people in the same abilities that you have in the game that you want to play. And winner takes all. Winner is actually going to be picking up some cash. The stakes can vary from game to game and from event to event. But the thing that's amazing about this particular portal is that the Game4Glory admins are there. They actually watch the videos or watch the games, and they determine who is going to be victorious. It's the little comment, game-specific marshal, to ensure that all payouts and results are fair. The real winner takes home the prize. So I believe we've got Eternal Rest back in here. Back and ready to go. Tonight, though, this is just a demonstration match. This is to show you guys the portal and show you how it's going to work. While we wait for those quick bans to run through again, what I'd like to show you really quickly is the celebrity death matches, the celebrity game matches that are coming up. Look at the names here. If anybody follows World of Warcraft, Dara McTire, Bajira, Dara McTire again, Elemental QT. I mean, huge names. League of Legends, of course, Fnatic, and for anybody that knows StarCraft 2, you guys surely have heard of White Ra. These are some of the other pro players that have taken part in the Game4Glory event. And take a look at some of the other titles. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on Xbox, Modern Warfare 3, of course, Gran Turismo there on PS3 as well. So, really cool collection of games. And the main thing, you can win money off it. That's really what it's about. So yeah, guys, Game4Glory.net. Go check that one out. As I was saying right at the beginning, this is a couple members of Game4Glory, people who've registered on the site, and they've applied for their chance to face off against Fnatic Raid Call. And luckily, the following members, Total Funeral Kappa, PowerX, Neatheart, and Eternal Rest, have been selected to... I'm going to go out here. I'm going to go out. They have been selected to be dominated by Fnatic Raid Call. I'm putting the money on the table, and I think that is what is going to happen. I don't see a couple of guys, really taking out 4 members of Fnatic. I must admit, HXD, who is the team manager for Fnatic, he is playing for them as well. So this is a big hindrance. HXD is terrible at League of Legends. I'm saying it now. You heard it first. Harry, if you're listening, all the love in the world, but no, dude, no. So I believe I've got a little message from him. Yep, there we go. A little love message from Harry. So we'll see how these champions are going in. Leona locked in, potentially Caitlyn over on the Average Joe's team. That's who we're going to call them. Over on the right-hand side, Lee Sin and Corky locked in for the members of Fnatic. And of course, Lee Sin most likely going to be in the jungle. A couple of guys are asking where Lamia is. For those who don't know, Lamia has retired. Lamia will no longer be playing professional League of Legends. He's moving over to the east. He's studying the language. I believe he's going to China, if I recall correctly, but I may be a little wrong on that one. Nonetheless, with him out of the way, Fnatic are still looking for a replacement in the AD carry role. And while they haven't found somebody guaranteed yet, there have been rumors. There have been rumors of a couple of players. Candy Panda is one that I've actually casted them for in the past, but nonetheless, Blitzcrank and Brand, the double B combos, B and B, have been locked in. So we're going to see a Corky Blitzcrank bottom lane, most likely Lee Sin in the jungle. Brand, of course, going to be playing that mid lane role. And Soaz gets to decide who he wants to take in that top lane, who he wants as that solo top account. That's who they're looking for. On the reverse side, Nautilus in the jungle, Caitlyn Leona on the bottom line. That's going to be a GP top and a Vladimir mid. There's a potential we could see GP in the jungle and Nautilus go mid, Vlad top, but I don't see that being really likely. And it's going to be a Corky. Okay, well this is very interesting now, alright, because we've got a Blitzcrank and a Taric in the hands of Fnatic Raid Call. So let's see who this gets swapped around with, because this might be Soaz Lee Sin in the top versus Gangplank, which is not that great. The slow that's going to put down from Tempest and that cripple is just going to be able to get eaten those oranges away. So that's really going to play into his favor. But Lee Sin can stick to Gangplank. If he lands the Sonic Wave, followed up with a Resonating Strike, apply the slow, only one of those debilitating effects will come into play, especially once he picks up a Phage. But what I love to see here, alright, take a look at the summoner spells for Fnatic. Not one of them is using Flash bar for Lee Sin, so Soaz is running Flash, but we have a Surge Smite Taric. Alright, Surge Smite Taric in the jungle in the hands of Cyanide. Champions are locked in, 3 minutes on the clock. The dramatic countdown music has stopped, so we need to pull up the Runes and Masteries page for Cyanide. 2190, this is once again a jungle Taric. Alright, jungle Taric is what we're busy seeing. And on his rune page, he's actually gone for 28 ability power, 15 attack speed, flat AP, and then flat armor as well. So it's a full AP page as if he's playing an AP jungler. And I cannot wait to see how this is going to play out. I'd like to see, especially when you combine, the Dazzle in conjunction with the red buff slow, it's going to be very powerful. Total Funeral is the jungler over in the hands of Average Joes. And let's see how he's playing his Nautilus. 9210, defensive mastery, so opting to go for that tank ability, the survivability, as opposed to the offensive route. And fairly standard jungle runes. I'm happy to see this 4.5% in the Quince. And not only is it that, these are the Sugar Rush Quince. So this is from the Christmas, I believe, last year. Somebody in chat will be able to correct me on that one. 13 armor, 4.5% move speed, and of course 15 attack speed, making sure that all that AoE damage from his shield is going to come into play. It's this NLD Heart, Needheart, all right? Needheart is an unranked player at level 30. He's playing Gangplank in the top lane, 921-0 against Soaz's Lee Sin. Soaz's Lee Sin. So we'll see how this is going to play out. 10 armor penetration, 8.5 physical damage, armor and MR. So decent stats. He's going to be trying to rely on those parlay bursts very early on. I'd like to see a Philosopher's Stone out of him. If we see a Philo Stone, maybe a blue buff, second, third. Vlad's not going to need that blue in the middle lane. So if Nautilus does decide to donate it, he can shift over that blue buff to Gangplank, and that's definitely going to swing the top lane in his favor. But he is going to need to keep the harass up. Lee Sin will most likely be able to outdeal him. On the flip side, Raise Morale is going to give him an attack damage boost. So interesting page. A battle that could play out. Whether or not these players are going to be on the same skill level, that is what really remains to be seen. So into the last minute of gameplay, Mr. Harry HXD has opted to go for Cleanse and Ignite over on his Corki. He's running a 2118 mastery page, and runes of just flat resistances as well as damage. So really happy to see Harry knows how to pick his runes, but what I like to see here is promote on brands and rated. Actually, this is something that we need to point out here. Peke is on Blitzcrank and rated is on brand. Now this makes me wonder if we're going to see Peke going mid with Blitzcrank against Vladimir. If he lands a good hook, it's just going to get Sanguine pulled away immediately after, or even just immediately to drop it in the middle. Support brand is not unheard of, but it is a little strange. So we'll see whether or not this is actually going to be played out this way, or who's going to go where. This is the loading screen for one more time for the Game4Glory.net challenge. This is just a show match, guys. Fnatic Raid Call versus five players, 5 random members of the Game4Glory website. I do apologize about blinding everybody. It appears my laptop has just decided to throw up the white screen, but nonetheless, the game screen is now loading. Skin War has immediately been won by Peke. Don't get me wrong, Valkyrie, Leona, it is cool, but it does not match up with that's definitely not Blitzcrank. In addition to Vandal brand, yep, I'm stoked. I like this. I think this is an awesome combination of champions. We've got completely unique picks from the Fnatic roster, but whether or not they're going to be able to actually win this game or not with these champions, that is what remains to be seen. So we'll see. There's 2 players from the Average Joes that are still needing to connect. So we're just waiting for the guys to actually jump into the match. While we do, what I'd like to do is just show you guys the Game4Glory page once again. It is Game4Glory.net, guys. Check that one out. Challenge other gamers, and it's literally you against your opponents for real hard cash. And what we're going to do for tonight, because we do expect Fnatic to win, that is where the strong odds are. But if any member of their oppositions, anybody they play against, performs incredibly well, they have a standout performance, they do really well in their matchup, or if by some miracle they get close to defeating Fnatic, they are going to win themselves some prizes. They're going to win themselves some Fnatic merchandise. But they need to earn that merchandise first. That is what they need to do. So we're still waiting for these two guys to connect. Let's see exactly what's happening at the moment. I'm just going to ask the admin really quickly. Are you in game? We'll see if anybody else is in the match or if everybody is still waiting. One moment while I just check my Skype. Are you boys in game? So yeah, just waiting for an update. It appears though as I do that, the game does in fact load up. So you can ignore me. Over in the blue team, in theory, the preferred position is the average Joes, but really, really critically, Toy Soldier Gangplank and Stock Standard Caitlyn have not connected to the match. Now what I want to see is who goes where. This is what I want to know. Blitzcrank appears to be going into the middle. Jungle Taric most likely going to start at red buff. Probably get a nice hard pull and then move into gank for, a very early first blood. Cyanide, in fact, going full troll mode, but he's got to be so careful. He's feeding... Actually, he didn't even feed first blood. He just gave away an execution. Just for the sake of it. So I sense much trolling. I sense much trolling at the moment. A couple of recalls happening. We'll see what the chat is saying at the moment. This Cyanide troll, report him, is what Peke says. So I tell you what, guys, if this is the mindset, if this is how Fnatic decide they want to play the game, it gives a chance to the average Joes. It gives a chance to the average Joes, that is for sure. But we'll see how it plays out, because of course, dying, giving away an execution doesn't actually award any gold. It doesn't give anybody an advantage other than giving you, 0-1 on the scoreboard. So what I would like to know, guys, if you are looking at, if you are watching the stream and you have an eye on chat, let me know about volumes. Let me know what you think of, the sound effects, the music, in-game, etc. Because as I say, I am using a new laptop to stream, so I just want to make sure everything's up and running. Peke and Enrated starting on the big golem. They're stealing that one around. The little golem has finally made its way there. Peke taken a decent chunk of damage. Taric has in fact not gotten a pull over in the mid, on this red lane. He has in fact started on the wolves and now moving. So we've got a bit of an interesting lane setup here. Lee Sin, that is Soaz, is opting to steal this red buff away. Let's put ourselves onto manual camera. There we go. So Soaz has stolen away that red buff. In the middle lane, Taric is now going to receive a little bit of a gank as soon as he hits level 2. So that means Dazzle has been leveled up. He's going to be waiting for a clear push. And here comes the Dazzle. Let's see if they can land any combination of damage. No, unfortunately, Cyanide cannot get into range to land that one. Total Funeral is going to find himself in a position where Soaz is potentially going to take some damage. In the middle lane, Peke takes a little bit too much burst from that tower and is forced backwards. And Fnatic with an unorthodox start. And it's ending up just costing them a bit of their hit points. But nonetheless, the average Joes, they're farming up their lanes. Corki, played by HXD, is going to have some fun in this top lane. Being the ranged AD carry and facing off against a Gangplank that has unfortunately only just reconnected means he's got a full level and a half advantage. In addition, he's got all of that range damage from his auto attacks plus the phosphorus bomb to put down. So he's just going to keep throwing out all of those spells, keep Gangplank low, and force Gangplank to use his remove scurvy ability to keep himself up in lane. And that's just going to play into HXD's favor. You see the potential of a gank here as Total Funeral is moving into this middle lane. If he can land some snares, that's going to definitely help out. He's managing to juke and Rated is going to carry on a flash forward. Ignite goes down. There comes the Searing Flame. Eternal Rest uses that Sanguine pull. First blood is going to be picked up from a very nice play from Eternal Rest. Dropped to 40 HP. Up in the top lane, a level 4 HXD manages to pick up a kill onto Needheart's Gangplank. And unfortunately, having that range, having all those levels is just going to help him out so much. I do believe, once again, another disconnect. So it does seem that connectivity problems are plaguing Gangplank at the moment. Let's rearrange our champions. It would be Soaz in the top lane against Gangplank. So I'm just rearranging the scoreboard. Oh, beautiful hook into the power fist. Ignite is down, plus a couple of auto attacks. Soaz uses that resonating strike to jump all the way forward. Eats 2 or 3 tower hits for his troubles, but a very nice kill. Now, Peck is going to carry and is thinking about pulling some aggro. Nautilus is now moving down. If he can land a snare, it could play out, but the Zenith Blade doesn't. Peke runs straight onto a Caitlyn trap as my mouse goes completely crazy. Up in the background, we do see him getting killed off. And it's a 2-for-2 exchange thus far. Soaz playing with his life, playing very, very brave. And in the middle lane, Sinai tries to set up a dazzle combination. And the Searing Pillar, as well as the conflagration. And what is his Q actually called? I haven't seen Brand in such a long time. Sia, as it were. And super, super aggressive lanes from the members of Fnatic. They are looking to make plays happen. The scoreboard has finally been arranged to fix everybody at the moment. And yeah, 800 gold up. Kill scores are even. But the problem is here, take a look at this gangplank in the top lane. Still level 1 against a level 5 HXD, a level 5 Corki. 31 CS to the 1 of his lane components. If you're going to match him up to his normal lane opponent, which would have been Soaz's Lee Sin, 35 to 3. It is an immense difference. Corki looks like he's coming towards the red buff. Total Funeral has moved in. He's going to find a fairly low health Cyanide. This could lead to a kill. If the red buff carries on, shield comes up, there's the snare. Riptide goes out. He's going to carry on chasing. One more auto attack is going to be able to pick up that kill. So Total Funeral does very, very nice there in a well-timed invade. Shuts down Jungle Taric. And gives the average Joe's numbers advantage. Kappa goes forward with the Zenith Blade, but X-Boom is just so far away with his Caitlyn. He couldn't land a Piltover Peacemaker. He couldn't land any damage at all. And it just unfortunately fizzled into nothing. Now we see in the middle lane, Peke is going to land that power fist. They're going to carry on chasing. There goes the conflagration. Seer goes out, actually lands the sun. HXT Valkyries over the wall. This is very, very aggressive. Sanguine Pool goes out. Total Funeral is going to be very careful with that Sanguine Pool. If he blows it that early on in a big team fight later in the game, it's going to cost him his life. If you combine Seer with any other ability, it's going to apply stun from Brand. Dazzle, of course, can come in at any time. In addition to Power Fist as well as Rocket Grab, Vladimir really, really needs to hold on to that Sanguine Pool before, when a very important piece of crowd control is going to land. Not in anticipation of something. It has to be used to dodge an actual ability as opposed to predict a dodge. We'll see how that one plays out. This top lane is what I'd like to see. HXT's return to lane, Berserker's Greaves and a Doran's Blade. Level 5 to level 3. It's about to ding level 4, but HXT has just hit level 6, so those Phosphorus Bombs are going to start stacking up. There's a little Phosphorus Bomb already. HXT is going to carry on chasing. One more auto attack. Drops 200 hit points away from Neatheart. Each of those little 100 HP squares. HXT is trading fairly well here, but misses the big one onto Neatheart. That ends up getting him a little bit away, but Parlay, 2 points into it. Currently hitting for about 120 odd damage with some decent armor penetration runes. Oh, we do see a damage ping. Peke once again taking a lot of damage from this tower. Soaz and Peke, of course. Soaz is usually the top laner. He's now playing bottom lane. And of course, Peke is generally the AP mid. Definitely not Blitzcrank. Definitely failing that grab. He's playing for a Duke, but he doesn't have his mana barrier either. So this is very, very brave. X-Boom needs to commit to a kill here if they can stop him. Look at Peke, he's just chasing. Zenith Blade just misses the backside of definitely not Blitzcrank. But they don't know that Cyanide is snuck into this bush. We're going to keep an eye on Cyanide here. He does have the red buff. You can see Taric jamming away in the grasses. Jamming away, hiding. And I think they're just waiting. Peke is recalled, going to be regenerating. Now let's have a look in the top lane. Neatheart is now going to be pushing. The stun goes down. Raise Morale is up. Total Fury carries on chasing. Cleanse. Heal is down. There comes the huge depth charge. Knocks HXT up. They're going to carry on pushing down. HXT is going to go down from a parlay. And that was a low-level gangplank getting his own back. And that's definitely going to help him out now in lane with all of the tools he has available, but they've got to be careful. Enrage is coming in for Neatheart. There goes the Pyroclasm. It's ticking away. If the Seer goes up, the Seer does manage to land the stun. With that damage over time, it's going to be enough. So Enrage picks up at least one, but now he's been put under a lot of pressure. Total Funeral's going huge for his team so far. He's picked up yet another kill. He's going to be able to, that's going to be able to get away from a nice Seer stun. While that's happening in the bottom lane, there's pressure. Peke still tanking the tower. He's finally going to go down. Powerboom's doing the best that he can to stay alive. Cyanide, he's 1, 2, 3, 4 tower hits, gets away with about 60 HP. And 5-5 in terms of kill. Fnatic Raid Call currently with a gold advantage. In terms of the audio issue, guys, if there is a little bit of a trouble, let me know what's happening. If it is a little tick or something like that, I will do my best to resolve the issue. But yeah, let me know a little bit more what the weird noise may be. Then I may be able to help fix it. So 5-5 in terms of kills. You can see the items on the bottom of your page. I'm going to switch over to gold so you can see how the gold numbers are matching up. At the moment, Nautilus 1-0-2 on the back of some nice invades. He's had some pretty decent ganks and he's doing fairly well. HXD is now returned to lane. Currently sitting with 2,600 gold to Gangplank's 1,900, so that spat of disconnects hasn't really put him too far behind. But this bottom lane is the story here. Look at the farm. 83 CS on Lee Sin to 22 on Gangplank. We do see Nautilus is now coming in from behind. We'll see whether or not this plays out to his favor. Because the vision Fnatic don't know. Lands a very nice, huge grab. Static field discharge goes out. Soaz is looking for a kill, taking a lot of damage. With Ignite, he's going to be able to pick one up. But now Blitzcrank's going to go down. The Eclipse is going to be able to put a slowdown to Soaz. He's going to be able to use the Iron Will to jump away. Jukes past the dodge. Now uses his kick to knock back Nautilus. He's going to continue juking as best he can, but the creeps are bashing away. They're dealing a lot of damage. He manages to follow it up. He's going to be able to put a little bit more damage before being shut down himself. In the middle lane, though, Dazzle, beautiful, beautiful dodge from Eternal Rest. That's what I was talking about. Hemoplague as well as the Transfusion. Will it be enough with the Ignite? I don't think so. Up in the top lane, Corki was pushing underneath the tower as well. And with the Cannon Barrage, Needhart manages to get the better of him. Chain Vest in hand. Really, really nice item pickup when you consider just how low his HP is. But really nicely done there from the hands of the average Joes. Lee Sin with 5 Doran's Blades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Doran's Blades. We've got Taric, Boots of Mobility, and a Magi Soul Stealer. Let's actually see how many he's got in hand. No stacks on it just yet, so he's just picked that up. Peke has snuck into the grass, but there's little lightning strikes, so you can see them hitting away. I'm sure Caitlyn would have seen them, so Caitlyn should know that something's up. We do see there comes the overdrive. Rocket grab almost lands, but a very nice 90 caliber net from PowerX Boom manages to get him to safety. And I'm just going to quickly drop my map scroll speed because my mouse is feeling a little sensitive today. So Peke is now moving forward. The tower is potentially going to go down very, very quickly. Cyanide uses the Ghost to chase in. He's going to carry. Solar Eclipse goes down, but with the tower down, it's not going to be enough. Dazzle now lands onto Leona. That's going to be able to pick up yet another kill. Soaz with a double kill in the middle lane. In the bottom lane, rather. Now we're going to watch in the middle. Eternal Rest. He's going to be able to get past the Seer. And rated. Is he going to get caught? Does get caught by the dredge line. That's going to hold him in place. But look at the damage from Pyroclasm. Bouncing between 2 targets. That hits 1 for 3, 1 for 2. In the bottom lane, Peke gets executed by yet another tower. A flash comes out from Eternal Rest, so he keeps himself alive for a little bit longer. Eats a Dazzle for his troubles. Seer plus the Flame Pillar is going to come up. Eternal Rest is just looking for Vlad. Cannot find him. Finally going down. Somehow Enrated stays alive. Duking all of that damage, all of the poke. And using the Fog of War to perfect precision. Staying behind the wall. Staying out of sight of any spells. And of course, if you don't have vision, you can't use the Transfusion. If you cannot be seen, you're just going to stay there. Now in the bottom lane, Soaz is going to carry on chasing. Put a lot of damage down onto Power Boom. Level 9 versus level 6 in conjunction with those 5 Doran's Blades. That's 5 Doran's Blades to match the 5 kills in Soaz's hands. It's absolutely insane at the moment. Soaz is not going to be poking down into Kappa. This is the support player. Kappa level 8 to Caitlyn's level 6. 27 CS to 84. The gold difference is now at 5,000 gold. Soaz is just completely disregarding Kappa. He's going to chase him with that resonating strike. Continues to put damage down. In the middle lane, Peke is now looking for a kill. Overdrive is active. Doesn't manage to land the Power Fist, unfortunately. 4 points into Rocket Grab, 2 into Overdrive, and only the single into Power. HXD in the top lane, 91 CS. Phage, Berserker's Greaves, Doran's Blade in hand. Let's have a look how our Medjais are doing. 4 stacks on Tarek's Medjais. Peke only recently picked up his item, so he doesn't have too many. Corki is going to eat a snare for his troubles. Going to carry on being chased in the middle lane. This is most likely where the kill's going to come from. Rocket Grab, Power Fist, that's one dead man. Nautilus is going to go down in the background on the back of a 2 versus 1 chase. With HXD being given the blue buff, he's just going to carry on chasing, spamming those missile barrages all day long. He does continue to land them. He's got a ward there for vision. He's going to carry on attacking. Needhart is decided to commit. He's used Raise Morale. One more big one from HXD. All over the face of Needhart. And that's going to pick up yet another kill for Fnatic. They've increased their lead 14-5. Soaz and Cyanide picking up another kill into Caitlyn in the bottom lane. And it's just action in every single lane right now. Obviously, Tarek has taken a low damage. Currently up to 6 stacks on his Medjais. Compliments of that little dive. Kappa is now thinking about this. If he can land a full combination, Zenith Blade goes forward, Shield of Daybreak goes out, Solar Flare is going to be able to pick up a kill into Silent. No! The heal delays it for a second, so Nautilus actually picks it up, and now with the depth charge onto Soaz, he's trying to get away, but with 3 members of the average Joes on him, can he actually do it? Zenith Blade goes out, that's going to apply the Mark of Daylight. Now Peck has decided he's going to commit. He's hanging around, the lightning has hit. Does Total Funeral notice it? If Total Funeral hasn't seen that lightning blast, he doesn't know that the aggro has been pulled by Peke, but surely chasing this is going to give it away. Peke is sitting there in place. He's going to pull the red buff back. Probably going to pop Static Field. Doesn't manage to steal it. Power X Boom actually does with a very, very nice Piltover Peacemaker. Now Peke is in trouble. He's going to carry on chasing. Ghost, the huge ace in the hole. And that's going to pick up a kill. Peke is staying a little bit too long for his troubles. And with a weird combination of abilities, weird combination of spells, even I'm getting tongue-tied here at the moment. Look at the items that are coming out from Fnatic. So we have Medjai Soul Stealer. Let's see how many stacks on Tarek's. Tarek on 4. Blitzcrank currently on 0 because he did just die. So as at the moment, armor penetration of 21 and then 10%. 2 brutalizers, 3 Doran's Blades. And then, of course, the Berserker's Greaves. So he's gone full aggro, 6-2-1 on that Lee Sin at the moment. Cyanide is thinking about coming in here. Can he get in for the Smite Steal? No, he does not. They have managed to just completely blow up Caitlyn, though. And that's all the damage they need. Caitlyn just being absolutely decimated. Sonic Wave doesn't catch into anybody, but Cyanide is not afraid. There's Boots of Mobility really playing into his favor. Now with Ghost in hand, he's going to carry on chasing. Going to land an auto attack for a slow, using all the speed from Ghost and those mobility twos. A Rocket Grab from Pekka. He's looking for the kill. Sia, Static Charge plus 1 more Power Fist. This is Fnatic going, we want the kill. I want to blow somebody. I want to kill someone. And managing to pick yet another one up. 17-11, 7,000 gold in rated now. Tanking the tower with his Warmog's Double Doran's brand. 87 CS, 314. The rest of Fnatic collapse in on this tower. Kappa just dodges away from that Rocket Gab for a brief second, and now they're onto this interior tower. Can they put the damage down? That's the question. Average Joes are in a lot of trouble. Pyroclasm goes out. We're going to stick with the main team fight. Solar Flare does actually go down, and now it's combined with the Cannon Barrage. This may help out, but with Caitlyn being dead, will it be enough? Enrated has gotten away with his life, and he's managed to pick up 1 kill. Now Leona's going to be the next to fall. Down in the bottom, Soaz is not committed to another fight. Hemoplague will be enough to pick up that kill from him. A heal plus the shield, and another heal comes out. He manages to survive because there's not enough ability power on Enrated, or Eternal Rest rather. He's flash forward, he's trying to pick up a kill. If he managed to get off 1 more Tides of Blood, it could have been enough. But Fnatic just dodging and juking all day long. I'd completely written Soaz off. Completely written him off in that fight, and he managed to survive, to get that shield, to get that heal from Cyanide. And of course, Imbue, it is healing for about 170 damage. You look over Eternal Waste, he's only got that Hextech Revolver in his favor. We're going to stick with the team at the moment because Fnatic, they're happy to keep putting pressure down. They're happy to continue fighting. Raise Morale goes out. They're going to carry on chasing. Dredgeline uses just from mobility. Ace in the hole goes out. Peke actually catches it. He's going to get snared in place. Peke sacrifices his life for the rest of the team. Total Funeral and the Nito continue chasing. Soaz tries to land the Sonic Wave for a juke through the wall, but it's not going to be enough. And look at that. does not afraid, does get caught by the dredge line, pulls over Peacemaker, is going to pick up that final tick of damage. And Caitlyn, 373 with that BF sword, does a little bit of damage, especially if the member of Fnatic just stands still, especially if they just hold their ground. Look at the items so far though. Taric with Malady Sheen. Oh, look at this. Pyroclasm's going to go out. There's no bounces though, so... Oh, it does actually bounce over onto the Wolves. Now when Rated's caught out, Solar Eclipse used as 3 members of the average Joes. With Eternal Rest coming in here, and Rated is now going to be blown up. 1 for 4. Cyanide has decided to stay for this fight though. If he gets caught by some crowd control, he could be done. Zenith Blade, Shield of Daybreak, that's going to hold him in place. Raise Morale is going to give them all the movement speed they need. Plus that little Grog Soak Blade Slow is going to come into play. Now they're going to carry on chasing. Dazzle plus Shatter is not going to be enough. But Pekka, he now wants some fun. He's running amongst everybody, tried to get a static field on everybody, but didn't manage to pull it off, and actually misses his rocket grab. Pekka, I expected better of you. But then again, that's definitely not Blitzcrank. Overdrives have acted. You can see the Power Fist has just worn off. Those electrified gloves no longer there. Pekka continues fighting, but with a static charge, just may get some damage. It does go out. That's a brief silence. Soaz is going to carry on chasing. He misses the Sonic Wave. He gets caught by a dredge line, plus a Hemo Play. Kappa is going to go down on the back of that Dragon's Rage kick. Now they're going to carry on chasing. Eternal Rest uses his Sanguine Pool. Ace in the hole goes out. It's not going to be enough. Eternal Rest gets one more Tide of Blood and Transfusion before he goes down. Now HXD's turn to fight 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4. Fnatic, please give me a chance to breathe. I do not have lung capacity this big. 24-16 up. HXD gets caught by a Piltover and a Riptide. He's going to be the next to fall. But Enrated has now had time to respawn. Manages to land the Pillar of Flame. There's no Pyroclasm available. It is in fact out. 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces is going to be enough to pick up a kill into Power Boom. Now they're going to carry on chasing 2 members of Fnatic alive in for this fight. And I tell you something, that was a 3.5 minute crazy fight. I cannot even believe how long it is. Needhard and Soaz going toe to toe with that cannon barrage, and with Cyanide helping out, it's going to be enough for Soaz to pick up the kill. But had Cyanide not arrived, it may not have gone into his favor. But I tell you something now, it's good to get some breath back. It's good to get some voice in the bottom at the moment. Leona has dived forward with that Zenith Blade. She's going to be the first one to fall. Pekka is being forced backwards. HXD picks up the Rampage, so he's got a good number of kills under his name. They've picked up that bottom tower. And now we see Lee Sin and Taric. They're going to carry on putting damage into this top tower as well. 22 minutes in. Depth Charge goes out. Power X Boom. Look at the damage from that Taric. Full combination of abilities just completely melts him. Soaz is now going toe-to-toe with Total Funeral, and he's not going to be able to stand that fight. He uses his dredge line for mobility just to get himself away. Spider Nautilus as it were. Enrated is pushing the middle lane. Pekka, holds Gangplank in place. Soaz is probably going to finish this one up. Lands the Sonic Wave, chases up with Resonating Strike. Dragon's Rage Kick is going to pick up that kill. Now Soaz is the one that's in trouble. He's going to dive over to a creep. Does get caught by a very nice Solar Eclipse there from Kappa. Jukes away from the dredge line as it were. And now Enrated once again overcommitting. 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4. Cyanide is coming into the fight. Ace in the hole goes out. That is going to catch Enrated, but Pekka wants some love. 3 versus 4. This could go into their favor. Cyanide picks up actually the first kill with the Riptide damage. Now 4 versus 5. Dredgeline's going to hold him black. Hemoplate goes out and manages only catch Corki. So I'm going to stick with Corki at the moment. HXD is going to use Valkyrie over the wall. Enrated even gets away with the recall. Now HXD is going to carry on chasing. Phosphorus Bomb out. Looking for time. Does he have it? Valkyrie's back up in 7 seconds. He's pulling members of the average Joes all the way back, but he's about to run into a Nautilus. There comes the shield. Snare, Riptide, and one more transfusion to pick up the kill. But look at the damage. No inhibitor, no tower. No inhibitor, no tower. No inhibitor, no tower. And I believe this wave is now spawning double super creeps. Double super creeps in every single lane, ladies and gentlemen. 11,000 gold advantage. We have a jungle Taric with a Cutlass, a Malady, a Sheen. Medjai Soul Stealer with 11 stacks. Enrated at the moment has gone Warmog's, Rylai's Crystal Scepter, double Doran's Blade. Pekka sold his Medjai's and has gone double Zeal, so he's currently rocking 475 movement speed when he activates that overdrive. Fnatic have decided to pick up this Baron Nashor buff. And we do have a disconnect from Caitlyn. She did have some connectivity issues at the beginning of the game. So, it's a pain. It sucks when you try to try to reconnect, when you try to stay in the game, but unfortunately it's just not there. Total Funeral uses that dredge line, gets stunned up, and is just going to get completely obliterated here. Shatter, Dazzle, I expect to see, the Rocket Grab actually comes up, but I believe it was the Shatter that actually picked up the killing damage. And without having Nautilus there, without having all of that crowd control and all that damage, this should be the final push. Pyroclasm goes out, bounces between creeps, so not dealing a whole lot. A very nice solo Eclipse comes out, but it's not going to do a lot in terms of slowing it. Gangplank's going to be the next to fall. Taric with yet another kill on the board. Make that a third. That's a sequence of 3. They're going to dive this one. Peck is the first to fall. Super Creep goes down. Now they're going to carry on chasing. Enrager does manage to land the stun into Eternal Rest. Dazzle comes out. Look at that chain stun. Completely locked up. But Fnatic Raid Call pick up this victory. The first match in a series of 3. We will be playing against 5 new players in this next game. So 5 more people are going to be jumping into the match to face off against Fnatic and see if they can put up a slightly better performance. But as you can see right now, Fnatic just rolling away with a 10-4-10 on jungle Taric, 11-4-9 on the bottom lane Lee Sin, comboed with Blitzcrank. It was just so powerful. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do now is put some music back on. While I do that, the next game is scheduled to start very shortly. I just need to quickly update this. Game 2 starting soon. So while I get the lobby created and get everything up and running, please enjoy some of my music. I will be posting it on my Twitter page a bit later. And yeah, we'll see you guys in just a few moments. It would help if I had some volume control here, wouldn't it?
A new life she